In this video, we are going to create the PHP script for new user registration. In the previous video, we already created the PHP script for establish connection to the database. So first here I'm going to make the file save as, and I save it inside the login app folder with the file name register.php. Now there is no need of these statements. I remove all these statements. So first we have to get informations like name, email and password from the Android application. So I create a variable called name and get the data from Android app using HTTP post method with identifier name. Now get the second information. Second one is email. So I copy this statement and paste it here. And the second variable is email. And here the identifier name is email. Now the third variable is password. So change this one into password. Okay, pass. Now change the identifier into password. So first we have to establish connection to the database. So we need the init.php file here. So require init.php. This will establish connection to the database. So before going to add informations like name, email and password to the database, we have to check whether the user already exists or not. So for that, here I am going to create some query. So create a variable called query. So select star from user info. Select star from user info. Table name is user info. Where email like and the email available on this variable called email. So variable email, and don't forget to put a semicolon here and end this statement with a semicolon. Okay, now we have to execute this query. So here I declare another variable result. Now call the function called mysql query. First you have to pass the connection. So the connection is already available on this file called init.php on variable con, and second one is query. So now we have to check whether there is some result available or not. So if the result available, that means user already exists. So we have to call the PHP function called mysql number of rows. We have to check that condition. If number of rows of result is greater than 0, that means the user already exists. There is no need to register the new user. So in that case, we have to make some server response. So here I create a variable called response and make it an array. Make that one as an array. Now create some variable called code and with value reg false, registration failed. So I make the value for code into reg false. Now create some variable called message, and this is the server response. User already exists. Now we have to pass this code and message to the Android app in the form of a JSON array, JSON object. So first we have to create an associative array, that means an array with name value pair. So we have to call a function called array push. First specify the target variable name. Here the target array is response. Now specify the name value pair and call the function called array. Now specify the name value pair. First name is code and value is variable code. Now the second name is message, and corresponding value is available on this variable called message. So variable message. Okay, there is no need of this $2 symbol. Leave one. Okay, now put a semicolon here. Okay, so here this statement creates some name value pair. Now we have to create the JSON, we have to encode the JSON. So echo JSON encode, specify the, so call the function called array. Now specify the JSON array name, server response. This is the JSON array name. Now specify the target value, that is the associative array response. Okay. Otherwise, that means user not exist. In that case, we have to put information into the database. So else, we have to create the query for insert information to the database. So I use the same variable here, query, and specify the query insert into user info, values, user info. Now values, specify the values. Put a single quotes. Now specify the value. Here the value available on this variable called name. Now the second data is email, that is also a string, so put a single quote and specify the variable email. And the third value is password. Don't forget to put the comma. Now the last variable is password, last value is password, available on this variable called pass. Now close the bracket and close the statement with a semicolon. Okay. So now we have to execute the query. So I copied that statement and paste it here. This will execute the query. Now we have to check whether the insertion is success or not. So we have to check some condition. If not, variable result. In that case, insertion fails. So in that case, we have to create the response, server response. So I copy all these statements and paste it here. So here I change the message into some server error occurred. Okay, no need to change the code and try again. No need to change the variable code, that is also registration false. Okay, so now we send the response in the form of a JSON data. Otherwise, that means if the registration success, that means successfully insert data, in that case, so I copy all these statements again. We have to make the server response for registration success. So here first we have to change the code into reg true, registration is success, and change the server message into registration success. Thank you. Okay, and finally we can close the database connection. So we can call the function called mysqli close and pass the connection variable con. Okay, now we finish the coding for registration. Okay, so in the very next episode we are going to create the PHP script for login.